mid control? Is it going to be the same thing now with the Euro as well, especially if we don't have that breach for support for the long sights to get in? So we'll see what happens. We're already starting the pistol round, third and final map of this series to see which team is going down to the lower brackets. Is it C9 or G2? And we're about to find out with G2 on the attack.
Nothing but a trip stopping G2 from completely taking over this site. Look at how grouped Cloud9 are already on the movement for the flank, but this Sage wall is so huge. G2 are going to be able to get the spike down easy.
That's also going to make it very difficult for C9 to overtake the site from the Staircase of Art. And yes, that's what's going on. That is exactly what's going on.
Yeah, the Yoru TP, Giuliano finding her time to make this flank happen. G2 Mary, she's making sure that the timing is going to come through, but the dash, the slide coming out for Cloud9.
Jig is up though. Here comes the flank from Giuliano. Takes down Mel and the fight comes in towards the staircase. Katsuma with the right clicks onto Mimi for the Sage dip. We're starting onto the defuse, but it's G2 all over the scoreboard with Glance on the last kill and G2 with another pistol.
So many layers coming into this pistol round from both squads, right? I mean, we saw Cloud9, all 4 members super grouped together in that mid. They didn't want to defend the sites. They just wanted to make that retake, pre-take happen ASAP. But yeah. Giuliano, man, from the start, you could see that the entire game plan was to allow her to use that TP, make it, and make that flank work. Such clever plays coming through right off the gate here on pistol.
And thankfully, that's done at the pistol round for if you're a C9 White fan, because now it's going to be, okay, well, at least we know there's going to be these wacky TPs coming out from Giuliano, who sets one up at the beginning just on the other side of control. So you try to go here for some early pillar focus with Mel on the top. Force a TP away.
Nothing but pistols on the side of Cloud9. This should be an easy plant, but we say these things all the time, Bangs. And then all of a sudden, the caster curse comes through. But yep. This is looking like business as usual. Sage wall should protect Mimi. And for Cloud9, if they're able to do some damage, maybe get some ultimate points on the board on this anti-eco, it would be huge, setting themselves up.
Yeah, but the positioning here from G2 is just looking too good, exactly. Clean up on aisle 4. I should have said clean up on aisle 9. What a big miss. That said, though, Petra gets the last kill there into the round. That's G2 with 2.
And it's good to see that G2 are playing to their strengths, even on these anti-ecos. Not getting overzealous. We saw a little bit of that in maps 1 and 2. Oh, this is it, map 3. Full purchase coming on the board for Cloud9. And, you know, we talked about the fact that they seem to be slowing down just a little bit. That sort of coordination and teamwork that we always commend this Cloud9 squad for was slowing down in that second half of map 2. So on this first gun round, absolutely looking for decisive plays across the board for all 10 players.
Yeah, as you mentioned, C9 White.
Oh, my!
Okay, it's going to be Bob opening things up with the headshot. Not only that, a dink onto Mary, and thankfully Mimi's there for the heal. But there's pressure going in towards Art. Flashes to push Jazikins away. But this is still not going to allow G2 to get any early map control after that beautiful shot to open things up.
And Petra still holding her ground. She wants to try to avenge Glance's death if she can. Bob, beautiful shot. And that smoke is just going to hold G2 off at bay. And Jazikins to clean up as well. Petra tried. You know, she tried to be as patient as she can, but she gets taken out. And all of a sudden, it's just Giuliano and Mimi. No TP on the map here for Giuliano. She does have the spike on her back, and she's going to leave her teammate in Mimi and try to make something happen. It's just Mel across the map here. Oh.
Mimi spotted on the top of the staircase. And that allows all 4 players of C9 just to stick around that site. So it's going to be a 1v1 potentially towards the back end, where Giuliano's currently going and Mel's on that rotate too. So who's going to get the better timing right now? 20 seconds left on the clock. Only a Vandal available. And if you're looking at this radar, it seems to be the advantage coming in for Mel. There you go, the execution. A prime giving flawless for C9, and that's how you want to start things off on your first gun round.
Exactly, so make sure that things don't get out of hand coming into this bonus, especially since the pistol just kind of slipped out of your grasp. If you're Cloud9, you are satisfied, and for G2, Petra, she's looking like she wants to have fun in tandem with Giuliano. 2 ultimates, just 1 point away from each. You can do some really funky things with this Yoru ultimate and Fade ultimate together. So, you know, maybe that is the win condition. You know, the breach fault line doesn't need to be there. Petra and Yoru, we'll see.
Well, we still need another ult orb or a kill for Giuliano to see if that plan is going to come into fruition. A little bit of damage from both ends of the chambers, but Mel comes out a little bit more damaged.
Very slow start for G2. Mary just making sure there's no funny business on the B main side, and there's a lot of decisions to make. Do you shoot it? Do you not? Katsumi's like, wait a minute.
Well, it disappeared, so at least we know that was a decoy, but the decoy was good to break that trip, and Katsumi runs back out, and that's a heavy duel to win for C9. But Petra looks to answer back.
Oh,
Hot
Petra.
now available. Yeah, she slipped through. And looking for the time against the stage. There's a headshot running in. A counter out from Jazikins. Relabeled onto the ground. Low HP as we dance inside the smoke. Petra then dissipates after that duel. A 4 versus 3. At least G2 has taken control towards this B site, and they'll get a plant, and they have a lurk.
Yeah, with all those distractions happening, G2 were able to get this ground. Mary finding so much space. Oh, and the timing, she just turns away. Jazzy's able to punish.
We're waiting for that timing from Glance. Instant kill onto Jazikin, so we know there's that lurk towards spawn. Last 2 players coming in from B link of C9, and we know also that the Sage planted, but don't know where she retreated. Glance on top of heaven! And that's 2 quick kills from G2. Continuing with the crossfiles, but this time watching her angles on the pulse plant, and it works out.
Exactly, and Mimi's also going to go ahead and invest her ultimate into this one. Make sure that that economy stays high for G2, and that was beautiful. I mean, it was towards this B site once again. These post plants are so tough if you're defending and you're coming for the retake. There's just so many crevices and corners. You've got to check left, then you got to check deeper left. There's a lot of corners that you've got to retake if you're the defenders towards that B.
At least the positive aspect for C9 is understanding that G2 in the past on that previous comp, as I mentioned before, likes to work on that mid. They did a great job to hold that with Jasikin to Katsumi. But the exterminators are still being pushed very confidently and with lots of success for G2. We want to try to fight back onto that by working towards the A orb. And here comes the dimensional drift from Giuliano. The flashes for the team to follow behind. And now she's been back at the site. Nightfall to come out too.
Oh, wow.
And she TPs towards B, my god.
It's all a fake. Giuliano single-handedly with Petra are able to just sell the fake completely. Cloud9, they've all rotated. It's a free plant for G2. And we've been talking about these posts and how difficult they've been. 5 versus 5. We've got some utility on the board to make this happen, but this is going to be so tough.
Yeah, especially Mel with an operator, and because it took so long to rotate into this map, there's not much time to work left. So you have to act quickly for C9, and that might be an opportunity for G2 to catch C9 on a slip-up for this retake. Jazikin is looking to be the first point of contact. Spots one, goes out with the overdrive, but overheats, and then it's going to be G2 just, once again, all over the board. But Bob answers back for a bit. Only Alexis and Bob. But this is looking to be one of those situations where it's not going to happen for C9, no matter what. You can't even save your weapons, and G2 are just winning round after round confidently.
Glance, such a superstar in the server. I gotta give love to the controllers out there. You know, you don't get every opportunity like those duelists do all the time. So, but Glance has just been so just impressive in that server. Anytime action comes her way, she's making those optimal decisions. High percentage plays, able to clutch round after round. And G2, what a creative play coming through. That was just off the back of Giuliano going in, having fun with the Petra utility, that fade utility.
Also,
Cloud9 bit so hard.
Exactly, especially with the Nightfall too, so it seems as though there's just going to be a lot of utility being dealt. And those fakes, another one of those moments where C9 should eventually call a timeout soon to just try to adapt a little bit more. Try to think, but so far, every single round, Christine, it's been like a new trick up the sleeve for G2. So how the hell do you adapt to this faster than usual. Yeah.
They're throwing curveball after curveball
Exactly.
after curveball. You love to see it as well coming through. I mean, they've been spending some time making up all these plays across the board. What a treat this is. I was not expecting the Yoru to have so much impact so far. We're only in round 6.
It's looking to be another round coming in here for G2, with Alexis just trying to bait some noise, trying to at least find some silver lining, and it's not going to happen. Lots of utility once again, and that's one of those things. Not only that, you're looking at the pulse plans, Christine. They still have so much utility to work with for G2. It's like one of those moments where you're playing rat games and you're like, I can't even play the game.
Absolutely, and take a look at the money even on the side of G2. You know, we've been talking about maps this whole series, really. Every round has kind of been balling on a budget, but this time around, G2, they can make some pretty big purchases and even have extras left over. So everything going well for G2 in their game plan, and you can see the watch party still going strong. So hyped for Mary. We had a little bit of a tech delay, but we're right back into it, and a healthy purchase coming through. We've got Bob with an ultimate coming online, and again, aggression. You talked about it. Mel, she's going to take the duel. She doesn't want this Yoru shenanigans to happen, and it's chamber versus chamber. Oh, she's so blind.
Well, it was going to be a chamber versus chamber, but when a blindside comes out from the Yoru, just retreat. Reposition yourself, but also here's the advantage potentially you have to reposition from Mel. Now towards an area where she could actually aim down the sights and look under to the cross into B. There's no Viper wall that's going to be able to block her line of sight, but the utility from Glance could be important.
Huge, huge opening pick for Katsumi, just finding the best timing she could have ever asked for. Mary decides to take that time, find something else. The res does come through, but oh no!
No. Instant spam onto the wall, dropping Mel for the second kill, but that opens up once again at least the A site. Cosmic Divide will allow G2 to move in. Petra also come in for the plant, and a late lurk now from Mary up towards Art. All of C9 White at least has rotated where they can actually come in with a bloodbath. The haunt to come out first from Art. That's going to be Alexis throwing it down at the A link. The other two moving up towards this pit.
And Bob, Alexis is being really patient, waiting for this lurk to come through for Mary, but if she's got to go. The time is ticking away. She can't afford to just wait as long as she would have liked. Giuliano's playing this so well.
And especially when Glad still has 2 stars to work with. So they bait out the gravity well. Petra goes for the kill. Unlike for Jazikid to lose that duel, but it's looking really good for G2 to be able to win this round, and they will do so, even wasting out the Nightfall from Alexis.
And I apologize, that was Mary. Of course it was Mary that was playing that round so well, so disciplined. And you know, we talk about it not being overzealous, having all the information and playing those high percentage rounds. That's exactly what Mary did. These post plants are looking a little too easy for G2, I gotta say.
And yeah, I agree with you. And at the same time, where G2 gets into the site, it's almost into no opposition really coming out from Cloud9 White, right, Christine? They're just doing a great job for all these fakes, bumping C9 over to a rotate, and getting that plant on the other end.
And it's certainly not for a lack of trying. Cloud9 White once again trying their hand at this B main control of some sort, and that's just a clone.
Don't want to risk it. But we have a forward position from the Stool de Fosse from Mel. Waiting for the first contact, easy first kill onto Mary, and will TP away. And once again, she's anchoring herself.
Yeah, and the Yoru TP is going back over towards that B main. You can see that this time around, Cloud9, they don't want to deal with it, but they've got a bit of the wrong read.
Yeah.
G2, the conditioning that they've been putting on this entire first half is paying off hugely. It's only Mel towards this site all alone. G2, this should be an easy plant.
Yeah, and they broke the TP right away, which then potentially will just put G2 into the A site, and the TP goes into mid instead with the second one. The headshot onto Mel, and Giuliano's just playing around the map.
Yoru finding so much value coming into these rounds. Cloud9, 4v4. They don't have much util, they don't have much weaponry, and Giuliano wants more.
And she'll get it. Only for an extra one. But it's still going to be G2 On the pulse plan, forward positions, not too much that Bob could do. She's looking to see if she could pick up Giuliano's weapon. It's not going to work out. Mimi swings out, and that is now going to be 7-1.
That's tough.
Not as close as the first two maps.
Certainly not. Certainly not the start that you want if you're on the side of Cloud9. G2, they can't be stopped. It doesn't seem like they're making any mistakes at this point. And it's, again, it's not for a lack of trying. When we're looking on the Cloud9 white side of things, they're consistently being proactive. They're going across the map looking for these duels. But G2, they're just in the right place at the right time. Even the last round, Mel opened the round with an opening onto the side of, I believe it was Mary? And they still are unable to recover.
They want to continue to fight forward on the top of the pillar, and this time they break the decoy and continue to spray through to get 3 kills for C9. Being able to fall back. G2 now stuck on the top of control. Mimi still away, far as away from being able to get a res out to at least give a little bit of a hope for G2 into this round.
Now, this is the first time we're seeing G2 at a numbers disadvantage. It will be very interesting to see how Mimi plays this off. 2 points away from the ultimate res. Things can get... Oh, never mind.
No dicey situations at all. But yeah, you got to get it for C9. We want to try to work up towards the B halls a little bit more. We got soul orbs to work with to make sure that we're not really pushing out around that corner for G2. But that was one of those moments, Christine, where it was just like, okay, whoever wins the duel, and that was going to be the round for them. And that time, it was C9.
This is so tough. Such a tough game right now if you're Cloud9 white. Giuliano once again on this Yoru. The ultimate, it's online. And the last time around, she went towards that A and faked completely on her own with that fade. We'll see what Giuliano's plan is. Cloud9, again, contesting this B main.
Who's next?
Here comes the dimensional drift. Yoru moving forward into this B site. But I don't see a TP moving forward. Well, it's to fall back, actually, to play the pulse plant. The rest here of G2 falling right behind a decoy once again that allows Jazzikins to get blinded, at least break the crosshair placement, and G2, what an entry into the site for B.
Spike planted.
Spike will go down. Bob finds herself in a forward position, is good for it. Mimi gets taken out. All of a sudden, 3v3.
Ooh, but we converted towards the left side or right side of the back halls. A 1-for-1, and Petra leaning back out towards pillar. Now setting up a crossfire where the spike is planted directly for them. Alexis and Mel, off shot missed.
Wow.
Only one more to go, and it's going to be Mel picking up the Elder Flame Vandal. Looking to bite back here into the back halls, but Petra slings out for the kill. And that's G2, 8-2, with such a dominating attack half.
What an incredible round. And the best part of it was that you included the fact that it was an Elder Flame Vandal in that. I mean, listen, if you're going to win and dominate NA's best in Cloud9 white, you got to do it in style.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I love the fact that she was able to do that with the Elder Flame. And again, Giuliano finding another entry off the back of that Yoru kit. So much value, so much impact coming through here for G2. And again, I gotta say it, Giuliano.
Yep.
Let's play.
At this point, there you go, that mid control, trying to do a little bit more. It was the overdrive to try to take control of Plaza. That just got stopped right away.
Petra feeling pretty confident, pretty comfortable in this area. Both of her teammates ready to just pounce and react off any sort of contact. And Cloud9, 3 members. These are the kinds of plays that Cloud9 attempted on, I believe, the first round and round 4. They weren't successful, but timing is everything, and Glance does get taken out.
We'll take those for C9 for sure, but 2 of them are heavily damaged. Things are still looking good for G2 to continue to work around the map. A minute left onto the clock as Mary's looking to open up towards this B site. More passive plays from C9. Mel just winning in the back of screens.
Exactly, and you can see that G2 are slowing it down because Mimi wants to get this res off on her teammate, allowing her teammates to get a little bit more control before that actually goes down. And I like this adjustment, right? G2 have been very aggressive and in Cloud9's face, but this time around, with their win conditions being this res, they've slowed it entirely down. They're just defaulting.
Yep.
If one of their players gets picked off, all good. They're just going to maintain this control, get the res off, and re-exec.
Walked across the map, playing that contact, seeing that the site is clear. Petra looking to look at least at the dugout, and there's not going to be anybody there. Wall to block off towards the spawn. Plant is now coming in.
I'll find you.
There's not too much utility or even weaponry to work with for Cloud9 White.
Another flank. Another flank. Bob this time. She sniffed it out. And the
That
retake, it's in action.
is going to be one down there from that kill from Bob. Cosmic Divide then coming out from the defense. So Petra crossfire with Mimi. Here comes the swing out from Church. And they're praying for these kills. A res to come out. A 2 versus 2. Katsumi on low HP. The headshot onto Mary. A 1v1, but it's not going to happen.
Wow.
Glance stays around for G2. 9-2 into the half.
Incredible. And you saw Katsumi really trying her damnedest to win that round, completely baiting her teammate with that res, as she should, to try to take over the round into her own hands. But again, the post plants for G2, they can make no mistakes. They can do no wrong. Every corner is covered if you're G2 right now in those sites.
Oh, yeah. And even look at it from that wall, it seems as though there was a little gap there, too. And we don't really care for G2. We play inside that. C9 White, the first time that we see this lineup now on Pearl. Definitely shows that, you know what, not many players, not many teams play against a Yoru, and you can't really adapt so far, and you don't have that many rounds here in Valorant to be able to try to come back. That said, C9 looking to battle towards this B side as the Cosmic Divide comes out on the attack, and this time it seems that G2 is also committed to move forward.
Double operator for Cloud9 and op on the back of Jazzy. No ultimate either. This retake is going to be so difficult. G2 once again in those power positions in this post.
That's a double push into the back halls. Nightfall available here for Petra. And it comes out. Jazzican though still lends the shot. Katsumi as well. As we're now slowly closing back into the control of the B side for Cloud9. The flank now spotted as Bob and Alexis are just trying to hold it down, but it's going to be Mimi instead. The tides have turned now for G2. Make that even for C9. Can Giuliano save the round? It's a 1v1. Bob looking to get the defuse. It's at halfway. The spray comes out. We're sticking it. Bob does not care. Bob will get the defuse, and C9 will salvage the round.
What patience coming through for Alexis.
By the way, big shout out to Myrna. She's doing a great job on that analyst desk.
Absolutely. Such solid points coming through, and we got to hop onto it a little bit more, right? The fact that C9 don't have any flashes in this composition, and the fact that they've been shying away from really heavily swarming into the site. So we need to see aggression coming out here for C9 on the attack.
You want aggression, you got aggression. This is quick right now from Cloud9
Oh,
White.
no!
But we're not clearing the corner, but at least a TP goes out. Mal does get the long-range kill onto Mary, though. That's the chamber diff, and now the wall comes up for the rest of C9 to push forward. Wall then to come out, it's going to be a plant for long.
Jazzican's biding her time. And this position was such a power position for G2 in their post. This time, Cloud9, a little bit of breathing room here, but Giuliano wants to have fun.
One flash available. Beautiful Han that spots 2 players inside this B site. Even a Prowler towards the back. And Katsumi's just trying to dance around this wall. It's broken left and right. Now the wall comes up on defense. Giuliano fights towards the back halls. Mimi and Glance just go to work. Somehow this is looking for G2 for a clean defuse. At least now Bob is going to be the last player standing. A 2 versus 1. But there's that wall. Hello, barricade.
Wall, just barricading, and the timing in which Mimi came and placed that down, it created a whole nother map almost in that site, right? A lot of different new angles, and both Sages just bobbing and weaving, using that wall completely to their advantage to find those picks, and that's a beautiful retake coming out here for G2. A stark difference from the struggles of Cloud9's retakes, and now you're seeing decisive aggression coming out here for G2 to completely overtake that site.
This is such a tough round now for C9, even a tough half. I'm going to have to reiterate this once again, Christine. Through the whole series so far, C9 White have only won one pistol. So with this plant, they're going to be on a force buy, but losing this round would be detrimental to the series. G2 are looking so comfortable and good on this map of Pearl.
Definitely so tough. We've got a force buy coming through here for Cloud9 as well. They don't want to allow G2 to get to 11. G2, they're being proactive. This Astra smoke pickup is huge!
My God.
Spike down.
What can you say? G2 just looks so clean into all of these plays on this very map. Just kills after kills, working as a team, getting all of these frags, and now putting Bob in a tight situation. Another clutch that she's going to have to try to do. Spike is down. Nice flick onto the first. Mimi was looking for the timing, but on the top now puts Bob down to 24 HP. You could forfeit the spike, but Bob still needs a lot of information, and she can't do it. She's not playing any type of agent that could get that information, so instead, it's going to be a smoke to potentially and hopefully pick up the spike.
That should allow her to play around a little bit. Such
30
intelligent
seconds
plays coming out for G2, though. You can see that Mimi just went back over and met up with Mary, making sure that they're going to do a 2v1 peek, if anything, onto Bob. Oh, this is going to be tough. The timing!
Just unfortunate. Mimi also had utility in her hand for the self-heal. There's a potential there, but it's going to be the timing that comes in favor of G2, and that's a huge round to win. And now it's just going to be C9 having to fight back and claw back every single round just to try to make it at least somewhat competitive.
Yeah, exactly. And this is almost, I mean, this is G2 saying anything you can do, we can do better, right? Because we talked about the fact that Cloud9 were making those proactive moves in mid, trying to sniff out wherever that hit was going. This time G2 do it, but they make it look so much better. I mean, just the ping-ponging off of each other, it's flawless right now for G2.
Now you see the flash coming out with the decoy. Jazzkins even shot early, so they know there's presence from Cloud9 towards the top of B. Meanwhile, for the rest of C9, we're adding more pressure towards the B halls at that B link. Yes, we're able to get Petra back. But as we fight forward, towards this B main, it's Bob with a headshot from the Guardian.
Huge pickup. Mary tries to equalize things, but just takes a bunch of damage. She's gonna have to reposition and wait for her teammates. Two of her teammates are actually on the flank, so she's gotta survive. She's gotta buy time.
Buying that, she is in the back. The wall comes up, and that's the other thing too. No breach, not only the fall line, no flashes to help clear out towards the back, but at least Alexis stops the bleeding and stops the pressure that Mary had in the back of that site.
And Glance, they gotta speed up the pace, so the sound cues are there for Cloud9. They've heard everything, but Mimi, what a transfer. That's a Spectre, Vance.
Yeah, using it like a rifle, and now only 1 kill away from getting an ult, but instead it's just gonna be another wall to try to cross over, but this should have a gap.
Oh my.
As she's looking for the last kill. It's gonna be Mel, only with the Guardian, and she gets it! The quad kill for the defuse! The Red Bull clutch! And it looked to be C9 all over that round, but it's instead map and series point for G2.
The movement, the bulldog, the fact that Mimi,
Oh my.
LAN player, LAN approved, that 3-ping coming out, and she's just so good for it. That was a round that Cloud9, it looked like they had everything they needed, right? We talked about the fact that it was only Mary on the site. All of her other teammates were so far away. But again, maybe a little bit indecisive. Maybe Mary's pick really put a spanner in the works, but the post-plant positioning's just not paying off here.
Agreed. This is not one of those moments where a timeout is to try to cheer us up or whatnot. You don't have time for that. It's to try to figure out how the hell can we open up any of these sites, or at least play a good post plan for a C9 White. And it's going to be another attempt towards B. One of those moments where, okay, maybe micro adjustments could help us win this post plan. So we'll try it out. But Juliana's walking back up on the top of B at the control. A haunt, it gets shot. Actually, she misses it, but at least she has that TP all the way back towards A.
Shot just a split second too early, but look at this, bait and switch. Even though Juliana TP'd away, Mary is in prime position, off angle, misses a couple of shots, and she is forced to TP back away, and Cloud9, they're decently happy with this. This is the control that they came in for. Astral Wall will go down. And Cloud9, they're committed. They're pretty committed here. Although Bob is on the opposite side, she's just watching the flank.
Woo! Nice sorry, there's no flash going out, but it was a nice swing out towards the wall for Mary to be able to get that kill. And now she picks up the spike. They're still looking for this plant, but Giuliano's still behind here. A haunt to come out, but it's a trade-off. No spike though. It just got dropped.
And Bob, she wanted to make that flank happen, but the timing wasn't on her side. She decides to come regroup with her team. 3 versus 3.
30 seconds left.
Spike is down, and G2, they're in prime position. Mimi waiting to react and peek off her teammate's contact here. Beautiful smoke though.
That res to allow that to come up, and Petra
Oh, boy.
hears a spray, swings out from the control. There's only 10 seconds left, and a dimensional drift on top of that to get all that information. Alexis Elise gets the kill onto Glance, but the push out, there's no time. Mimi comes out to get the last 2 kills, and G2 wins the series.
And what a beautiful way to close it out in style as well. I mean, the fact that it was Bob's smoke to help Mimi get that res off as well. I mean, that's beautiful.
Oh, I mean,
And
look at the
painful.
cheers. It's definitely painful if you're